Hello, my name is Susan Rice and I'm the director of the Heinz Chapel Choir. One of my favorite moments at the end of the last two academic years has been to join with Elaine Goldsmith to present the John Goldsmith Award for Choral Excellence. I'm delighted that Elaine is with me today via Zoom, as well as the first two recipients of this wonderful award, Iain Crammond and Gabi Young, to present the award for academic year 21-22 to Ryan Steinly. Elaine?
Well, when my husband, a couple of times during his 25 years as Lions Chapel Choir Director, he proposed to the university to establish four scholarships for a soprano, an alto, a tenor, and a bass to be in the Heinz Chapel Choir, but the university never bought into it. So when he died, there were so many people who wanted to honor his legacy with the choir. So I thought, well, let's start a fund and see what happens. And so far we have collected enough funds to be able to give to one recipient each year. And this recipient must exhibit excellent musicianship, a commitment to choral excellence, a commitment to the Heinz Chapel Choir endeavors as a singing community, scholarship, and general humanity. So I'm so happy to be participating in celebrating the third recipient of the John Goldsmith Award for Choral Excellence.
And it's my great pleasure every year to have the joy and the responsibility of choosing that person. And it's really kind of wonderful that the first recipient was a bass, the second was an alto, and the third is a tenor. So we've done a lovely job of walking across the sections of the ensemble. So it's my pleasure now to talk a little bit about Ryan and why he is such an excellent fit for this award. Ryan's from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. He's a graduate of Central Bucks High School East, and he's a rising senior at the University of Pittsburgh, majoring in Spanish and classics with a certificate in German studies. He's sung for 3 years with the Heinz Chapel Choir in the tenor 2 section. He's an exceptional student and human. He currently holds a 4.0 cumulative grade point average. He's served as a member of HCC's executive board for the past 2 years and was elected to a position again for next year. In all of those years, he's served as one of our stage managers. What does a stage manager do? Well, in addition to all the work that the executive board does collectively, the stage managers prepare the physical space for our rehearsal and our performances in the Heinz Chapel, but also in any tour venues that we might locate to sing. This is a really big responsibility because it allows everyone else really to focus on the music and to not worry about adapting to a new space. And in a tradition that we inherited from John Goldsmith's years with the choir, the new members of the choir serve as the setup crew, and the stage managers guide them through those responsibilities. In that way, the stage managers are, for the new members of the choir, their first point of contact, the people that make them feel welcome, that settle them into the culture of the choir, and that really set a palpable example of what it means to be a responsible member of the choir. And Ryan has done this so beautifully over the last 2 years, particularly during the pandemic, where he's continued to serve as a stage manager and as a resource for the new members of the choir, even though they haven't also joined us in setup. So he's really done this very much on his own and kind of reinvented the way that we think of this role. In normal times, he's someone that they can ask those kind of pesky new member, new student on campus questions like, how do I get from this building to this building in 10 minutes so that I can be on time for choir? Those are the kinds of things that really are unwritten in the role, but are so important to our members and to allowing them to feel really welcomed in the space and at Pitt. He has a lovely tenor 2 voice, and in his sophomore year was affectionately called by me one of the triplets. So there were 3 members of the tenor 2 section that kind of looked the same but sounded identical. And shout out to Anthony and Drew for the year of the triplets, where they just Ryan demonstrated his musicianship in his commitment to the sound of the section, to adapting his voice to sound so much an organic part of the whole. It was the section that year that really immediately adapted to sounding the same and making really beautiful music together. He's thoughtful, reliable, focused in every moment of rehearsal, and especially during this past year where the conditions of our rehearsals have been changeable from moment to moment, really. Um, he contributes to class discussions in a substantive and thoughtful way, and has a particular fondness for the poetry of Sarah Teasdale, which I enjoy programming as well and always look forward to his reflections on. Like Iain and Gabi before him, Ryan embodies the very best of the Heinz Chapel Choir, and he enriches the broader Pitt community with a powerful example of servant leadership, which is really what this award is all about. Thank you so much, Ryan, for everything that you've given to the Heinz Chapel Choir, and I look forward to your senior year and hopefully a more normal framing of what we can do together as a choir. Congratulations. And I'd like to ask Iain and Gabi if they'd like to add anything to this conversation about Ryan, since they both have sung with him.
Can I go first?
Of course.
Yeah, Ryan has just always been willing to help out with rehearsals time and time again. He's just always been so kind to me and to everybody that I've seen him come across in the choir. And like, he just brings so much joy to the work that we do together and to our time together. And I'm just so proud of him, and I'm so excited to see him continue to grow in his senior year.
Ryan, in just the few semesters we got to sing together, it was always so clear just how much dedication you brought to the ensemble, and what a positive presence you had, just bringing warmth and smiles to everyone. And that's always so important. You're always just so willing to do the quiet work in the background that makes everything else happen, and that matters so much. And it's so great to see, all of that work and your commitment and humbleness too, just be recognized and rewarded right now. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Dr. Rice, Iain, and Gabi. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to see you again. I really miss singing with both of you. And thank you so much to the Goldsmith family. And I'm really so grateful for everything that John Goldsmith did, and for everything that his legacy continues to give the choir. It really means so much to me. Thank you so much.
Okay.